Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. Coming back to you with another video here in front of the ocean. I'm over at Hammonasset State Park here in Connecticut, and I want to come to you guys with a video today, and I want to talk about why I don't go to garage sales anymore, why I don't go to thrift stores, why don't I go to library sales, why is my business 100% E2A? Do you guys know what E to A stands for? It's eBay to Amazon. So for about the last 5.5 years, I've pretty much quit thrifting. Now, if you go to my Instagram and TikTok, you'll still see thrifting content. A lot of that, to be honest with you, is kind of like old B-roll. And I share a lot of thrifting content still. I guess it's like my top of funnel. I don't know what to say. Like, I want to get people to learn about what I do with eBay to Amazon and online arbitrage. But I feel like for beginners, it's probably best to like thrift and go to garage sales because you could buy items really cheap. Your risk is very low. You're going to be gated and restricted in a lot of products. You're going to make mistakes. So why not make mistakes on a budget, right? But for about 5.5 years now, going on 6, I haven't done that anymore, honestly. Thrifting's still great. I still think it's a great opportunity. But I want to share in this video why I pivoted away, why I'm 100% eBay to Amazon, why I've been doing this for over 5 years. I've sold over $4 million on Amazon in the last 5.5 years, more than that, going on $5 million very, very soon. This year, I'm hoping to do about $1.3 to $1.5 million with about a 20% net margin. And you might think to yourself, well, that's a low margin, right? But you have to understand, I've outsourced my entire business. I've got 8 virtual assistants working for me. I literally only work sometimes an hour or 2 per week. That's one of the reasons why I'm at the beach right now. And I just checked my sales. It's like 9 in the morning right now. I'm already at $850 in sales. Yesterday I did about $6,000 in sales. The day before that, $8,000 in sales. I've been crushing it and I'm working way less, okay? So I want to talk about in this video why I quit, why I'm doing eBay to Amazon, and why I honestly believe that after 3 to 6 months, maybe 12 months of thrifting, learning the ropes, understanding Amazon, building up your sales volume, starting to get ungated, knowing what you're doing, right? Understanding how to manage cash flow. I personally think you should move to eBay to Amazon. And yeah, let's get right into the video, guys. So number one, the number one reason why I quit thrifting and garage sales and all that is not because it's not profitable. It's crazy profitable. The ROI is actually way higher. The margins, the net margins, the refund, everything's better, honestly, with thrifting and whatnot. The biggest issue is scale. Scalability was the biggest issue because, you know, if you want to scale your business, you've got to grow your inventory. You've got to find more inventory. You know, what's the difference between somebody doing 5,000 versus 10,000 a month in sales? They're buying more stuff. They have more high quality inventory. And the issue with thrift stores I've noticed over the years is the inventory's just gone to poo. It's gotten worse and worse. There's been more competition, although lately it's less. Amazon's like a ghost town. So many people are quitting and giving up, but that's for another video. But scalability, right? I would go to thrift stores, I would go to garage sales, and sometimes I would crush it, but other times competition would beat me to it, or maybe it would just be a bunch of $10, $12, $15 items, and I just had a tough time. When I was thrifting, I was making good money, but I couldn't really get my sales over $8,000 to $10,000 a month consistently. And now with eBay to Amazon, I'm consistently doing over $100,000 a month. Yes, granted, I got to spend more money, margins are less, so on and so forth, right? You're not going to buy an item on eBay for $3 and sell it for $100 like you can do from a thrift store, but scalability, I wanted to make more money, okay? And that's the biggest issue. Now, you might have a honey hole, you might live in Texas where you're surrounded by 50 thrift stores in Houston or whatnot, and it's just amazing, but thrift store prices have been going up. There was just less and less inventory. It was so inconsistent, and I just couldn't find that I could really pay my bills. I live here in Connecticut. I've got a nice house. You know, I've got 3 pets. I've got quite a bit of expenses, and it just wasn't cutting it. So scalability, okay? Number 2, the second reason, right? And if you've been following my channel, you know for the longest time, one of my top values in my entire life, number 1 is obviously making an impact, but number 2 is freedom. I love freedom. I hate the fact of, like, when I used to work delivering pizzas and working at the Cracker Barrel from, you know, for the folks who've been watching me since 2011, 2012, 2013, I hated working a job because I hated clocking in. I hated feeling claustrophobic, boxed in, having to follow the rules, having to follow authority. And the thing I love about being an entrepreneur is you've got that freedom, but a lot of resellers, they're just working a glorified job. A lot of people who thrift, a lot of people who go to garage sales, who, are doing local pickups, they're stuck in the business. They're attached to the business. They can't really take off. Yeah, you could always go to the beach from time to time, but you can't take off for a month, 2 months. You can't take off for 2 or 3 weeks. You can't really run your business from your laptop. Now, of course, there's people who are gonna say, well, Steve, I've got a warehouse, I've got employees, I've got it systematized. I'm not talking to you, right? And not everybody's got it built like that. If you've got a warehouse, systems, all that, employees, that's fantastic. You could definitely step away. But for me, I didn't want to go that route. I didn't want to have a landlord and have a warehouse and physical employees. And while I do have 8 virtual assistants, from my experience, it's a huge difference managing virtual assistants that are maybe in the Philippines versus having physical employees where there's workman's comp and you're paying crazy high salaries. And I hate to say it, I'm going to rub people the wrong way. A lot of people in America, they're struggling with really high bills and they just expect the world. They want everything given to them. They're very entitled. I should be making 30 bucks an hour, but they're not providing any value. And I used to have a warehouse and it was just, people were just a pain in the ass. I just couldn't stand it anymore. So I didn't go that route, but obviously the freedom is a big thing, right? With eBay to Amazon. Number 3, I was so sick and tired of having to take what I can get at thrift stores, at garage sales. I love flipping higher ticket products, $50, $70, $80, $100 items. Of course, we all do, but you can't always find them at a thrift store. And I just found that not only was I not able to scale and find enough stuff, not find enough of those $50, $60, $70, $80 items, but a lot of times I'd have to be picking up these $15, $20, $25 items that only make $5, $6, $7, $8 profit. And honestly, I was just so sick and tired of it. I was so sick and tired of dealing with these low ticket items, these items that maybe were slower selling. And it's like, I wanted to pay more money. Like, I'd be happy to pay 20 bucks for an item I could flip for 40 or 50 if I could flip it fast, deal with higher ticket items, better quality. But at thrift stores and garage sales, you just couldn't deal with that. With eBay to Amazon flipping, and especially if you're using the tool Replen Catcher, that's a tool that I developed. That's how I find all my products, all my virtual assistants. I've got 3 sourcers now. The other 5 do other things in my business. I've made videos about that. You can check out what everybody on my team does and how, they help me to run and support me with this 7-figure business. But with eBay to Amazon, you can target high ticket books that sell for 70, 80, 100 bucks, electronics. And I'll have my video editor roll some of the sales and some of the flips that I've been making recently in my eBay to Amazon business, but my average selling price is over $120. You heard me right, over $120. And now while I do have to pay up $40, $50, $60 for an item, I can leverage my money. And that's one of the things that I really love about eBay to Amazon. And the thing with eBay to Amazon and online arbitrage, it does take more capital. And there was a guy who commented the other day on a post that I put on YouTube. I shared a $160 item that I flipped for, I think, $270 or something like that. And I made like 40, 50 bucks, like that. But he was like, who the heck's gonna do that? What normal person is gonna pay $150 to flip an item for $270 or $280? And the reality is, a person who's got money, who wants money to work for them. And pretty much this guy was like, I took it the wrong way probably. Maybe I got a little bit defensive, so I apologize. But I feel like a lot of people kind of like crap on my business model because I'm having my capital work for me and they don't have any money. They're broker than a joke. They've got $200 in a bank account. They've been only working for 3 or 4 months. I've been grinding my ass off for 12 years. I've been busting my ass, saving money, budgeting, living below my means, not overspending, and building up my capital so I can get my money to work for me. That should be the pinnacle. That should be the goal for everybody. How do you get your money to work for you? And that's what I love about eBay to Amazon. Thrifting, garage sales, all that. I have to physically work for my money. I have to go hunt down the deals. I got to find the right thrift stores, be at the right place at the right time, just make my rounds. But with eBay to Amazon, I can build a system to where I can leverage other people, I could leverage a prep center, I could leverage a software, and I could leverage my money to do the work for me. Now again, some people are gonna be rubbed the wrong way and say,
good for you, Steve. Good for you that you've got the money to do that. That doesn't help me.
Well, get to work, save your money, live below your means, work multiple jobs, have multiple side hustles. I had multiple side hustles for a long time, saved my money, invested my money. But people don't wanna hear that nowadays. They wanna hear that it's easy and that whatever anybody's doing to have success, I should be able to just plug and play. Doesn't work like that, but that's what I love about eBay to Amazon. I could literally leverage my money, okay? Another thing I love about eBay to Amazon over thrifting, and I already alluded to this, is I have a team. I could have a team to support me virtually. I don't have to have a physical team, a physical warehouse. I don't have to be dealing with people physically and dealing with them, calling out sick, this and that. And the thing is, if you're sick and you're working virtually, you can still do your job. And obviously there's times where my team's sick and they can't work, but I have backups. The wages are much lower. When you hire here in America, you've got all this workman's comp, insurance, liability, high rent, high cost, just high labor. And it's just like, it's so much stress, right? If you really want to scale like a thrifting or a big whatnot business, for me at least, everyone's a different personality. I'm sure there's people who are like, Steve, you're being a baby. It's easy for you. Everyone's different. You got to find what works for you. But I just can't stand, I love people, but being around them too much in the physical form drives me absolutely nuts because, I mean, I guess I'm just selfish with my own things that I like to do in my own ways and my own freedom, and it is what it is. But I love being able to have a virtual team. I have, I keep saying 8 people, but I really have 9 people if I count a couple other people on my business, like my accountant. I have 2 bookkeepers in the Philippines that help me. So I guess officially 9, but I love it. I love that the wages are low. I love that the people in the Philippines where I work with, the people, they're hungry, they're really nice. I can give bonuses. I could really help them out. And they're just hungry for success. And I just love it. And my team, a lot of my team's been with me for over 5 years, right? And then at the end of the day, I would say to kind of wrap things up, there's a lot of different things that I love over eBay to Amazon, over thrifting, right? I love that I could work from home. I love that I could be on my computer. I love that I can travel. I love that I could have my freedom. But again, at the end of the day, I just love, and people are gonna probably give me a rough time about this too, I love its passiveness. Now, of course, my eBay to Amazon business is only semi-passive to the extent that I obviously manage it and my systems work, and I still have to, be a part of it. It's not like I'm sipping pina coladas and taking off forever and just ignoring it, because no one's gonna care about your business as much as you. But I love that you can build out these systems, a prep center system, a sourcing system with replun catcher, systems for having sourcers and bookkeeping and people that reprice and fixed rate inventory. Like, I am just really proud of myself, and I'm proud of everybody else out there. I mean, there's people who are watching who are replicating what I'm doing and even doing it on a much higher scale and, crushing it. We're all in different phases of life and we have a different amount of risk tolerance and money, but I just love that it's really gotten to the point where it's very, very passive, right? It's not passive income in terms of you just ignore it forever. People, they have the wrong idea about passive income. You still have to manage it, but I'm leveraging so many different systems and people and processes and the FBA fulfillment center. I'm not doing FBM. Of course, there's a cost to that. There are benefits of FBM, but I just love that I could take off, I could travel, and I don't have to spend a ton of time every single day literally doing everything in the business. I don't source anymore. I don't list anymore. I don't ship anymore. I don't reprice. I don't fix stranded inventory. I don't have to do all the day-to-day stuff. I'm working on the business instead of being in the business. But that takes hard work. It takes time, right? It takes responsibility. It takes learning skills of how to hire people, how to train people. You've got to become very good at your craft, right? You have to build skills to train, and you have to be patient because no one's going to care about your business as much as you. You've got to incentivize people. You've got to be willing to learn all the time. But that's why I really love this business. Now, are there risks involved? People are going to say,
oh, what if you get a counterfeit complaint? What if you get an IP?
IPs are very easy to avoid. What if you get a counterfeit complaint? There's ways to get rid of them by appealing and acknowledging or being a part of the Amazon Health Assurance Program, to where a lot of the counterfeits are only low impact. There's ways to avoid dealing with products that are higher chance of getting a counterfeit. I mean, there's a reason why I've been doing this for almost 6 years, right? If I was a complete bozo, if I was a complete clown who had no idea what I was doing, there'd be no way that I was able to do over $5 million and have a perfectly clean account right now. Doesn't mean there won't come a time where something could go wrong. That's life. There's a tree in front of me right now. I said in another video, the tree could fall on me. Something crazy could happen. I'm not gonna go, a Final Destination on you guys right now, but there's always risks involved.
What if you get a Section 3? Oh my God, what if you get a Section 3?
What if you get a Section 3 doing wholesale? What if you get a Section 3 doing private label? What if you're, selling wholesale products and all of a sudden the item that you're $80,000 deep into, you get a compliance documentation issue, or, the manufacturer changes something and now you're stuck with all the, what if? There's risks, right? There's ways to reduce the risks, right? And if you're gonna run a goddamn business, you've got to become a problem solver and learn to reduce the risk. What if the thrift store shuts down? What if you get in a car accident because you're driving around all the time thrifting? Right? I mean, this is business, but some people are cuckoo nowadays. They think that it's just easy. They think that there's no challenges. They think that, it's all gonna be perfect and rainbows because your favorite guru is gonna sell you some BS course or something. A lot of these guys aren't even running businesses anymore. They're just making money off content in school communities. I'm in the trenches. I'm doing this. I'm living this. I'm not the smartest, brightest guy in the world, but I tell you right now, when it comes to selling on Amazon, especially eBay to Amazon, thrifting, I've done it for over a decade. I know what I'm doing. E to A, almost 6 years, but thrifting and all that over a decade. This is why I love it. Not telling you to do it, but if you've ever wondered why the hell did this bald guy stop thrifting to do this, these are the reasons. With that being said, guys, much love. If you guys do want to learn more about eBay to Amazon, check out my free Facebook group. I'll put it down below, the eBay to Amazon Masterclass. Of course, if you want to start flipping from eBay to Amazon, get a free trial to Replen Catcher. If you use the code REPLEN10, you could save 10% off. Start sourcing, right? You could literally use it for 14 days for free. Start sourcing deals. Integrates with your Amazon account so you can see what you're gated, what you're restricted in. You can sell what you can sell, target high-ticket items, whatever you want. But check it out. Any questions, drop a comment. I'm gonna get back to the beach here. Beautiful day here in Hammonasset State Park in Connecticut. So with that being said, much love. See you in the next one, guys. Peace.
Yeah. Pop in, burning like this ain't